Hello, this is Aire, and you're looking at your mid-January reading as we get ready for February. And I'm sure all of you are thinking about Valentine's Day. It's pretty hard to ignore. If you go to CVS or any drugstore, you'll note that all of the Valentine's Day candy, teddy bears, cards, balloons, they've been out since Christmas. So yes, sometimes it's really a big pain because Valentine's Day is so focused on relationships and being a couple. So it's perfectly understandable that some of you might have a little anxiety. Well, this is your monthly reading. I apologize if it's a little late. But think of this as just a short forecast to give you a heads up as we head into the month of February. So this isn't going to take long, maybe 12 minutes tops. So Virgo, this is your reading. The first thing I want to do is start with the middle card, right here in the middle. This is the root card. This is the card that tells me about what is the relationship energy like at this time, what's going on between you and your love interest. So we have that hangman. We have emotional, well, not just emotional confusion. The hangman refers to a very difficult situation you have no control over, but you just have to be patient. Ground yourself and wait. Okay, and so it's about letting go of the things that you can't control. So that's the hangman. Your major arcana cards, you don't have a lot. You only have like one card, and that's strength. Interestingly enough, the previous readings, there's some who have 5 or 4 major arcana cards. So on the whole, the major arcana have been really coming out for this reading, but for you, not a lot of big shifts as far as the larger picture of what's going on in your romance or your love life. But strength is a good card. Strength is about taming the ego, and it's right next to this other major arcana card, the hangman. So those two work well together because the hangman and strength are both about self-control, finding inner peace, just pulling yourself together and not overreacting and just saying it will all blow over, it'll all be fine. So having said that, looking at your center card and your major arcana, both of which include the hangman, let's look at what's going on with past influences. So you have a 6 of Cups, you have an Ace of Cups reversed, and then you have fire following this water, 5 of Wands, which always is about conflict or competition or wrong time, wrong place. And so when I look at my notes, I wrote love hurts, especially if you're, the 6 of Cups is about looking back at the past, having memories, missing someone. And then you have an Ace of Cups reversed, a reversal of love, a reversal of a friendship. Sometimes it can mean rejection, that you wanted to offer, you wanted to have a relationship with someone and they refused. And sometimes it can mean like a breakup and there's no reconciliation yet. But Ace of Cups is always, as far as relationship ratings, it's always good to see an Ace of Cups when it's not reversed because it means a renewal of love, falling in love, taking it to the next level. Maybe someone liked you and now they love you. So it feels as if things are kind of stalled here as far as that Ace of Cups. So when we get here to that 5 of Wands, Once again, this sense of conflict, wrong time, wrong place. Maybe some of you are waiting for someone, waiting to hear from someone. That's definitely a possibility. But things are not going well here. So at the most, what I'm seeing from those three cards, what I feel like what the Oracle is saying is maybe some of you Virgos are feeling a little bit bruised and battered. And your earth signs as well. There are no pentacles in here, but we have lots of wands, and that's another thing I want to point out. You do have 4 wands. You've got this 5 of wands, page of wands, 3 of wands, and a 2 of wands. So in your future, it feels like there's a little bit more intensity in as far as expectations. Now, when we get here to this middle row, as I said, the Hangman and the Strength card, they make a pretty good combination because they're both about that inner control. But it's interesting how the wands make a transition for you, Virgo. I feel like this might actually be pointing to the energy of your partner. Lots of conflict. You two do not see eye to eye as far as the relationship. But then when we get to a page of wands, we get sort of like a little bit of optimism. I feel like with the Hangman and Strength, the page of wands is coming along to say, it'll work out. Okay, you just need to be patient. You just need to hold it together. And maybe just take some downtime and heal. So when I was trying to figure out, like, why is the page of wands showing up before the Hangman and Strength card show up, I feel like there's a good chat, a good conversation that some of you are having with your love interest. And the page of wands is sort of like, I don't want to lose you. I still want to meet you. I still want to be with you. But the Hangman is sort of like it feels like there are overriding circumstances that are out of your control. For some of you, long distance romance. Maybe you're just starting to date. So the present energy versus the past, like I said, the first impression was love hurts, missing someone, not seeing eye to eye. And then when we get here, things are starting to look up, where maybe your partner is being a little bit more reasonable, a little bit more optimistic. They call you, you guys have a good conversation. By the time we head here to the future, this is important. You've got a 3 of wands and a 2 of wands. And according to my notes, you've got this 8 of swords reversed sandwich. There's a sandwich here. An 8 of swords sandwich between a 3 of wands and a 2 of wands. Sometimes it's easy to get the 3 of wands and the 2 of wands mixed up because they both seem to be saying the same thing. You've got here this 2 of wands, which is the card of partnerships. In a general reading, business partnerships. In a relationship reading, obviously, a partnership where there's positive expectations. You're looking to see where this could go. When we get to the 3 of wands, the 3 of wands, the expectations are a little bit, with the 3 of wands, the expectations are a little bit stronger. So when I look at this little interesting row here, this 8 of swords is reversed. And the 8 of swords is usually a card, thoughts and ideas, which are usually associated with swords. It can mean confusion, not being sure. So I'm not saying that's your partner. I keep getting the feeling that's you, that you've been hurt, you've been going through the energy of the Hangman, and it seems like this 8 of swords is mimicking the Hangman. It's not as confusing as the Hangman, but it seems to be, the 8 of swords reverse seems to be a lower echo, meaning you're still feeling doubts. You're still not sure if you should just go ahead and jump into the romance. you're still not sure whether this person is still going to be in the picture. So when we look at the Three of Wands versus the Two of Wands, remember that 3 is the number of perfection. And another note is don't move forward in spite of the doubt, but don't don't make any agreements. Take care of yourself. The wands can be pretty intense. So your partner might feel more bold and more confident about what they want from the relationship. But you're like, after this Five of Wands and acting out, you might feel like, no, I'm just not ready yet. So some of you have partners or love interests who are trying to control the pace of the relationship. They're like, I want it on my terms. And people who are fire energy, sometimes they can be pretty demanding. They're extroverted, they know what they want. Sometimes they're like the center of attention, but they don't mean to be. So that's what I'm seeing there. That for some of you, your partner or love interest can just be all over the place. And I feel like for some of you, it's about controlling the pace of the relationship for them, but they're not taking your feelings into account. So as I said, by the time we get here to the future, you've got that Three of Wands, and then it comes down to a Two of Wands. And the Two of Wands is always about authority and calling the shots. Okay? And so that's when I'm getting these, that's what I wrote in my notes, like, don't allow someone to push you around. You fight to protect yourself. And one more thing. With the Three of Wands, this is about expectations and making plans. Okay? It's about having hope. So this was an interesting reading because everything just goes up and down, but I get the feeling that for some of you Virgos, you're very solid in grounding with your earth energy. There's someone who is all over the place with the fire energy and with the wands. And you're like trying to let's slow down here because in another minute you're going to be heading out the door again. So why don't I go ahead and pull the outcome card. Okay, so you have Justice, and that's a good card. Really, really good. Justice is about balance and doing the right thing. And get ready for a big change or decision. And it's not whether this other person's making the decision. I feel like for some of you, you can actually take it or leave it. Virgos in most earth signs, such as Taurus or Capricorn, you also like to call the shots as well. It's just that for some of you, your partner and your love interest, and they don't have to be a fire sign, but I do get the sense that some of you might be having partners who are just in and out, not a lot of focus, not a lot of discipline, and you're more grounded and stable, and you're like, do you want to be with me or not? Okay. But it feels like you can still have hope. It feels like this person still wants to be around. So the good news is that when this Justice card comes up, she's holding that one sword. And when you're holding that one sword in your hand, it's, I've made a decision, and this is what I think. This is what I think should happen. The Justice card just settles it. Okay? And you could be the one to settle it. So it'll be up to you. I feel like this whole relationship with your partner, it'll be up to you to control the pace and not allow this person to keep coming in and out, doing what they want, taking the relationship for granted. Okay? So that was my reading. Once again, I apologize. It just seems like I was so busy the first 2 weeks with other readings. As you know, my relationship energy reading is $10 until the end of January, so just keep that in mind. Thank you again to all of my subscribers, my new subscribers especially, my clients, my regulars, everyone who's been supporting me. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. I hope you're having a wonderful new year. Okay, and as I said, just as far as Valentine's Day, just take it nice and easy. Let the universe take care of it. There's only so much you can control. You can't control relationships. All you can do is control yourself. Be happy, and don't let this fake holiday define you. Okay? So I'll see you in a couple weeks. And as always, I wish you love and light.